I'm gonna do a quick story time. As I'm driving, can't really hold my phone, so I place it right here. But yeah, probably gonna put something for the background, or I don't know. I'm probably gonna leave it like that, black. But anyways, this is one of the stories. Pretty much, how I survived my family, I guess you can say, and the people that were helping them, like follow me and like harass me or whatever. Up to today, I don't have full disclosure of what happened, cause I guess they found out that I found out and they got scared and whatever. But this is pretty much how my sister would like invite me to her house, and I don't want to judge her, but I'm assuming she was putting something on the food. I don't know if it was pills, a poison, some sort of fucking freaking witchcraft, or whatever. But that's was my experience. So pretty much everything it started like 5 years ago or so. That I remember like 5 years ago. Who knows how far they had been watching me. But for 5 years, pretty much, like, it was the same thing, I would get followed, this and that. They would gaslight me, text messages, whatever. But then when my sister started to get involved, that's when it got weird, because it was my sister, and I started to notice it was on my second apartment that I had by myself. Pretty much, my parents stayed with me for a month, and it was cool, they stayed, whatever. But I started to notice that every time I would come home to take a shower, to eat, my sister would show up within 5 minutes. And she would show up because that time my parents were home. They were there visiting from Mexico. So I was like, okay. I thought she showed up because, she wanted to cook for me or something. But I started to notice that it was literally after I would come home. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. So pretty much I would leave, and or sometimes I would shower, like I would eat or stuff like that. So because I would only show up for my for my lunch break, so either I would eat or like I would shower or like pretty much just rest and head back out. So my parents left back to Mexico. Then it got weird because every time pretty much every time it was my day off, because I used to take the same day off, I started to notice that she would call me whenever I would take a shower. And it was literally every time I would take a shower, like on my day off. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. And I would answer the phone because she was a single mother, and I was like, okay, probably she needs some help or something. But now it was just like casual talk, regular talk. So I would be like, hey, you know what, I'm taking a shower, I'll talk to you later, bye. So I would leave the conversation, and yeah. Then I started to notice that it was every time on my day off, so I didn't answer the phone sometime. When I picked up on it, I didn't answer the phone. So when I didn't answer the phone, pretty much within a week or so, I noticed that my jewelry was missing. And pretty much, I moved out, for a month from there, because I'm like, okay, I don't feel safe. Like, because the thing, they stole my jewelry, but they stole it in a way where, like, I didn't notice. So I'm like, either somebody has a key or something, So, but now that I think about it, the only one that had a key enough time to do that was my sister and my parents. So who knows if they're the ones that did it. So from there, pretty much, I moved out with some guys, and later on, I found out that those guys were also, how you say it? They knew, either they knew my family, or the people that were working with my family, or they got incentivized by my family. Because when I was living right there, like, yeah, it was, I couldn't, like every time I would come home to rest, somebody would show up, and like pretty much I couldn't be by myself. So I moved out by myself again, And that's when it got weird because at first, the two guys that would call me every time I left town, it was the same two guys. Then I started ignoring them because I caught on to it. But that's when my sister started calling me, the one that would call me whenever I was taking a shower on my day off. And she started calling me again, and I'm like, oh shit. Now she's calling me whenever I'm leaving town. That's weird. Because remember, I would leave town on purpose at different times to see who would call me. And she started calling me. Oh, damn. Let me see if it's getting saved. Yeah, I just had to check what you call it, to see if it was recording, because it's connected to my phone. So I don't know, it's connected to the car, so I don't know if it was recording the voice or not. But it is. But anyways, as I was saying, pretty much she started calling me every time I would leave town, and I'm like, oh shit, like what does she have to do with the people that are following me, So, because back then I would notice, I would get followed and stalked, but I never knew my family had something to do with it until it became obvious, or they made it obvious. So from there, she would invite me over to eat, and I would go over to eat because I'm like, okay, it seems she knows something about what's going on, but she's invited me over to eat. I'm gonna see what goes on, So I would go, and she would just act normal and everything, and normal conversations, this and that. But she would always invite me to eat, and since she knows how to cook, and I've been eating her food since a little kid, I was trusting her. I never really expected nothing negative to happen, and whenever I would eat her food, I didn't notice that at first, but later on I started to notice that every time I would eat her food, I would get really sleepy. Like kind of like forcefully falling asleep, like really, really sleepy, like a really, really heavy sleep. And I'm like, wait a minute, like, why am I falling? At first I would be like, at first I wouldn't notice that was from the food, I'm like, oh damn, I got tired. But all of a sudden I started to notice it, like, hey, this is not normal. Like, every time I eat her food, I get really sleepy, and yeah, pretty much, I don't know what she was putting on the food or whatnot, but she was putting something in the food. So from there, I stopped going, and pretty much that's when it got weird, because now, like, she wouldn't leave me alone. Like, an example, she was, how can I say it? She wouldn't call me as much, but that's when things got weird, because now she started calling me again when it was my day off, and I was taking a shower. But this was a whole different apartment, and in this apartment, only my brother-in-law knew that I lived there, but that was it. So either the people that were helping her keep track of me or following me around told her where I was living at, and or something, because I was living on the 3rd floor. So every time I would take a shower on my day off, she would call me, and pretty much that's when I did a trap. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pretend that I'm taking a shower, and if she calls me, it means that they're spying on me. And that's why I did that. I did multiple tests different times, because I'm like, nah, this is too much. And that's when I confronted them. I'm like, hey, you know what? Like, this and this. Like, pretty much I told her, hey, you know what? Like every time I take a shower, you call me. And that's the thing. She's the one that even told me, because I told her, hey, like, I was gonna tell her, it seems like somebody calls you or tells you when I'm taking a shower or when to call me. But she pretty much finished the sentence for me, because I told her it kind of seems. Then she told me, like, somebody's telling me when to call you, that you're taking a shower, huh? Ha 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 ha. And she laughed, and I'm like, okay, that she knows about it. And she was having fun. So pretty much from there, I went and spoke to my brothers, and they knew something, but they were just playing dumb, They told me, oh, go ask her. Then with her, I went to ask her, And that was the funny thing when I was going to ask her, like, cause I went to her house out of nowhere, you know. And when I went to her house, pretty much, there was a car accident there. Cause I called her before I went to her house, but I called her. I'm like, hey, what you doing? She's like, no, nothing. Like, I'm here. I'm like, okay, can I come through? And I'm like, and she's like, yeah. So, but I called her out of nowhere, you know, like random. And she told me that she was not doing nothing. But on my way over there, somehow, some way, you know, there was an accident there. Like the street was blocked off. I was there for like 5-10 minutes, so I did a U-turn, went somewhere, you know, through another street. And when I got there, there was like a mechanic working on her car, and I told her, hey, let's go inside to talk. And she's like, nah, let's talk out here. But I told her, nah, let's talk inside because it's, you know, it's personal. It's not like, you know, like, it's not like a regular conversation. Nah, no, let's talk out here. I'm like, nah, let's go inside. I'm like, you know, like, I'm like, come on, like, you know, this is important. And she kind of went inside. Well, she did went inside, and I told her, hey, what's going on? You know, I'm like, I already know you guys are following me. You call me every time I'm taking a shower. I'm like, that's illegal. I'm like, that's harassment. I'm like, I'm gonna do a lawsuit on you guys. What's going on? And she started crying. She's like, get out of my apartment. And I left, and I told her, hey, like, I just don't want you guys messing with me. And cause there's a thing, man. Like, whenever I wouldn't pick up the phone or something like that, they would pop my tires. They would do things that would cost me money, you know. And later on, when I found out about my sister doing that and everybody doing that, they scratched the back of my trunk. So they did a lot of stuff, you know. So I'm like, damn. And all of that cost me money. I don't know what they told my landlord. I ended up being homeless. I lost my truck. My 2 cars I was paying off, bro. I was almost finished paying off one of them. And they ruined my whole life, you know. And because there's a thing, when I would eat her food, like, pretty much I would just go to sleep after that. You know, I would go home, you know, fall asleep. Like, pretty much because I'm like, what's the point of driving if I'm tired, you know? But for me, I thought it was like regular tiredness. But not, like, they were putting something. I'm assuming she was putting something on the food. I don't want to judge her or anything because I'm not 100% sure. What I should have done, I should have saved some of the food and taken it to, like, some sort of freaking place to test it for anything, you know? In case it had some other stuff. But hey, I honestly, I never knew they were doing it so they could ruin my life, you know. Like, for me, I thought it was kind of like more like for me, I thought it was more like oh, you know what, like, we're gonna prank them or something like that, you know, like kind of like that, you know, like, or something, you know, like, kind of like prank me, like, oh, you know. But nah, I ended up homeless. They pretty much stole my business from Mexico. Well, the business we had built together, my mom stole my money I had saved up with her. And yeah, it got weird. And but I survived it, you know. And right now that cause I mean, I moved out, but right now that I came back, like, the first 2 times I came to see, like, I came around her apartment to see what was going on. Like, she was already expecting me, you know, like, because the first time I parked on the way far away from where she lives. But she came, you know, she came outside and she was just staring at my car, you know. I'm like, okay, like how she know I was gonna, you know, like, how she know I was right there in the car, and like, why she came out. Then the next couple of days she didn't come out. She wouldn't come out in the morning, but she would come out more later at night in the daytime. But an example, she would also come out like when I would drive by. Or so I'm like, okay, how does she know that I'm coming through, you know? As a matter of fact, she even tried stunt and like bump into me once, you know, like rear ending. Like, she was backing out, she almost hit me. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, it's been 1.5 years since I hadn't talked to her or no contact with her, and all of a sudden, like, how does she know expects me, you know? Or because I'm pretty sure they told her or something, you know. But I don't know, to be honest, it just seems weird. But yeah, guys, that's the story of how my sister tried to poison me. Um, and I got more stories. You know, that's only the main one of how she tried to poison me, or at least like giving me something on the food. You know, cause yeah, that's not normal. And like I said, right now, every time I try to pull up to her house to have a conversation, because that's the thing I try. You know, like for me, I'm trying to have a regular adult conversation, but all she does is come out of her house and go somewhere else or something. You know, last time she followed me, but I'm like, why is she following me? Like, you know, like, how does she know I'm driving through there or stuff like that? You know, because an example, let's say I drive through there with loud music or stuff like that. Like why does she even care? You know, it can be anybody. Or like, let's say if I go there and I honk at somebody, I can be honking at the neighbor saying what's up to them. You know, same if. As a matter of fact, like, you know, like the other day, I think one of my high school friends lives right there, you know. I can be honking at him. She doesn't know that. But why she follow me? But that's the thing, like I told you, sometimes, like when I came back, like, I don't know, it's just weird, you know, it just seems that it's weird. But yeah, that's the story how she tried to do that. Not only that, I'm pretty sure she was putting something on the food when my parents were staying with me, cause like I told you, I would come home like around 11 or 12 in the morning, you know, to get lunch and or eat something, and pretty much that's what I would do, you know, like. But I don't know if she was there to put something on the food or not, but it is what it is, to be honest. Can't really trust them, you know, because I don't know, it's just weird, you know, it's just weird. And what makes it weird is that other people in my family knew what was going on, and they never told me, you know, like they just went along with it. But it is what it is, you know, like not only that, some of the neighbors too, cause how can I say it? Sometimes I will come, you know, I will visit and stuff like that, or visit some of my favorite siblings, and some of the neighbors will come out and they will kind of like, you know, say certain things that will be like not weird, but they will say certain things that will like an example, like saying, oh, he still doesn't know yet, what? Or kind of like trying to get me to questions, like, or kind of to what do you call it, kind of to pay attention or more on my surroundings or stuff like that, you know. But I mean, I was just playing dumb the whole time, trying to see what was going on, and everything led to me being homeless because of everything that they did to me, you know. But yeah, and like I said, you know, like a lot of people knew something was going on. They didn't tell me. I mean, a lot of people knew I was getting followed, and they would see that I was getting followed, and they didn't tell me anything, you know. That's why right now, when I'm alone or when I go to certain places or stores, I say random stuff, you know, like, or I'll be like, oh, this and that, you know. Why? Because sometimes it feels like they're still following me, and they're just like listening to see what they're gonna go and tell my family, or what they're gonna go and tell, you know, my sister. As an example, when was it? When was it? I don't remember when, but it was in this past week that I've been doing this. You know, like pretty much. I felt like they were doing, you know, like an example. I felt like somebody left something on the car that I'm renting, that, you know, that where they could hear my conversations, and pretty much when I was calling out a certain business where they were like gaslighting me, because I got I got a ride offering from right there, and pretty much got a ride offering, and I got a ride offering. Excuse me. I got a ride offering from that business, and pretty much I started talking to the camera and like being like, hey, you know what, like, it's been multiple times that I get gaslighted by the people from that business. They're trying to get me to go in there, this and that. And I started I started explaining to the camera, how they would gaslight me and everything. Next thing you know, the person just canceled the ride, and I'm like, what? And yeah, she canceled it, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. But before that happened, I gave a ride to some lady, and I picked her up near where my sister lives on the same block, and pretty much I was telling her about it, the whole situation. Next thing you know, my sister is driving in front of me, and she just goes inside my brother's apartments. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of strange. Like, I picked this lady up in the same block as my sister. Next thing you know, my sister is driving in front of me. Then she goes into my brother's apartments. But I'm like, why is she gonna go to my brother's apartments if she can just talk to him on the phone, But then I realized that if my family's actually if my family's actually harassing me with other people, like doing bad stuff, they can't really talk on the phone. They have to do it in person, So I'm like, okay, like, that's kind of weird. And then from there, I got the one, I got the ride where they canceled on me, but it seemed like it was kind of like organized to gaslight me, And to be honest, yeah, honestly, up to this point, I really don't know what's going on. All I know is that, like, especially my sister, I don't know about my other siblings, because they're like, they were not that involved with it. The one that was mostly involved with it was this sister, because this one was the one that was putting stuff on the food, and the one that was calling me every time I took a shower. But the shower story is for another video, because yeah, that one was pretty crazy. I'm gonna go into detail so you guys can see what was going on, but yeah, like, pretty much it's all gaslighting, but they never give me full disclosure of why. And an example, like, if it was for something good or something, and like a prank or something, I would understand that. But why did pretty much they ruin my life, and they took some of my belongings, And not only that, why did they stop calling me and stop doing everything once that happened, Once I guess they accomplished their goal. But it is what it is, like, I'm just happy that I found out about it, and I'm staying away from them, because an example, every time I'm there, like, I get upset because it brings up, like, negative memories, like, not negative memories, but kind of like, damn, like, they did wanted me to do bad. But yeah, guys, that's one of the stories of how I survived my sister's poisoning. And who knows if they probably put poison, she was poisoning me through the drinks or something else, or who knows how far it had been going on, because yeah, it's scary, man, to be honest. And that's why right now I really don't eat from anybody, or unless they eat from the same food, because I don't know, bro, it gets sketchy, like, I get not scared, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know, like, you never know, that's why I'm coming back and trying to figure out what's going on. Cause yeah, it's weird, man. To be honest. And if you guys know about poisoning or food poisoning or anything like that, let me know. You know, I'll be chilling, like reading your stories and pretty much sharing them on my channel too. You know. Or especially if you know how to contradict the food poisoning, let me know too. Cause yeah, like that would be nice if cause just in case they try it again, bam. Because I heard drinking milk is good, but who knows, you know? Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.